Hi everyone, so we are back here. Today we're gonna rig the upper part of the body. So most likely we will finish the hip and torso. So before we get started, I'd like you to copy the custom marking menu. If you go to our D2L WK10/2 web page, you will see the technical material. Click to download number 3, number 1, number 2, you already copy it. So you will put the menu dash underscore serid underscore select.mail and then put inside marking menu under Maya preferences. Okay, and in that case you will be able to do this. I am holding Shift Alt X with left mouse button. Oop, here we go, and I get this marking menu. Here we go. We're gonna use this. This will help to speed things up when you try to isolate selection on a particular type of object. So, and we're gonna do this together. Okay, so all right, so pretend that you copy the file, and you're gonna go to under window menu, setting/preferences, and choose marking menu editor. And because you copy the file and put inside a Maya see it, so it's asked if you like to load it or not. So I put number 2 because I have the original one, so you will be just select.mail and click load menu, and you will see this. I like you to highlight it, and then under use marking menu in, I like you to choose hotkey editor and click apply setting, close. Now we're gonna edit and assign the shortcut. So you go back to window menu, setting/preferences, and choose hotkey editor, and wait a little bit. Under choose category, you're gonna use a other item and find user marking menu, or let's see, I think user marking menu right there. And I have multiple, you're gonna have only one. So basically you can have number let's say my select select to press and release. I already have mine, the original one. So now if I highlight it, so the press, now Maya will show this section which key available. So this is unsigned key. So now these are taken. What we can do is we can choose, let's try, you're gonna just hold use finger on your keyboard. You don't click here, there's nothing click, but when you hold it, if I hold shift on my keyboard, now show some available. So I can do shift N, or I mean the idea is we want a placement of our finger in the closest area on one area, so that you don't have to jump from hold shift and then try to click this button. It's too far. Your thumb, my thumb can't even reach that. So I'm gonna try to add all, see what available. Now I got more available. This time I'm gonna choose shift alt Z, so I'm gonna press Z, and then it's assigned it right there. Now you can release the keyboard. Now after assign, it said your marking menu will not work correctly unless you also attach the release hotkey. You will want to say yes. Now when you click yes, see it's assigned. Then you can keep save and close. So now you can try. I do shift alt Z. Here we go. Come on. What does it say? Hold on, let me look. Something incorrect on my. Cannot find. I think it because of it's kind of overlap with my original. I think. Hold on. Shift Alt C. Shift Alt. My Shift Alt X still work. So I think my just because it is double overlapping. So in your case you shouldn't have any problem. Okay, so I'm gonna just use Shift Alt X. So I like you to use Shift Alt. I mean, let me go back one more time. So pretend I just wanted to show it to you how to use it. How to use it, yes. So let me go back one more time. I'm gonna delete those because it's gonna cause conflict on my. So see, Shift Alt C. So I'm gonna remove it. Here we go. You don't have to do it, okay, on this section. And okay, save and close. All right, so now I'm gonna use Shift Alt X. Okay, so all right, so now we're gonna get started. Now before we start though, I'd like you to open up the outliner and check your outliner. So I have a little it's just because of I attach and detach the surface, and we did attach and detach the surface, so these things are left out. So I like you just highlight and hit delete. Now when you delete, you might see some of this, and these happen because of a oh, my, hold on, let me go back to select all. Here we go. Is because of after I detach, is the group node still have a high gosh, I forgot the shading group is still connected. So when I delete it, it's also delete the shading group. You just select it, right click, and assign the existing. I think mine might be number 3 or something. You can assign the Lambert 1 is fine. You probably gonna have a quite a few lists because you're using my I have quite a few of the shader that existing. Lambert 1 is the default one that you should not change the color. Okay, so just add that, and if you don't have that problem, perfect, you good. So now let's take a look at this. This one also gotta go. Now rib cage though, it's still under group. Okay, so can you just on the rib cage, if you have same as mine, just go to edit ungroup. It will remove and delete the floating group. So this one I can delete it manually. Now when I delete it, once again, transform, delete it. It's also delete my shading group. No big deal, we can fix that. So you go back to, now this is why we want to create a marking menu. I'm gonna use my marking menu and choose, hold Control Shift, oh no, sorry, Shift Alt X and left mouse button. I'm gonna choose polygon. I'm gonna select all polygon. I can do Control Shift to add. Now I select all polygon, and I'm gonna right click, assign existing material. I can switch to Lambert 1 if I want to. See, Lambert 1 is just a gray color. Okay, so if I do that, I gotta do all. Hold on, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go back to Lambert 3. Here we go. Okay, so now we are good because everything's nice and clean. We don't want to see floating group node on it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Right now I'm gonna template this. Template mesh layer. If you see that some of your geometry are still outside of that folder layer. That because we delete the group node. No big deal. Just select all the match menu. Match object. Right click. Add selected object. Now we template it. Okay. So now because I filter out to only polygon, so I'm gonna have to switch to select all. So now when select all is this, can you see right there? Let me show you. Alt Shift X. If I choose curve only, can you see? Turn everything off except curve. Deformer. All miscellaneous is this, and I also add a select all, curve high, curve show, and motion tail on and off. I also add that command too, so you can use that later. Okay, so now we're ready, and we're gonna create a spine IK so that we get a very subtle, complex, smooth motion with all the joint there. So switch the marking menu, main menu module to rigging, and then under skeleton, create join, open up option. I like you to use this setting again. Turn off variable bone radius, orient join to world. Here we go. The reason that we use this because it's simpler and easier, and in the future when you become a little more advanced in rigging, you can choose any orientation setting you want. Okay, so I'm gonna close. Now I'm gonna zoom in a little. I like you to place the join. Let's do one extra join on the main bottom here. Now the second join will be at the bottom part on one side of this part of the spine. Okay, so now the next one will be, this is a part of the vertebrate, and vertebrate is separate in 3 sections. So clavicle, and I don't remember this name. I think it's a thorax. I think, I'm not sure, but lower part, I think it's 5 of them, is called lumbar vertebrate, but you just call vertebrate, it's fine. So now I'm gonna place the second one, zoom in right there, 1, next 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this might be hard to see, and 14, 16, 17. Okay, so you might need to make a little adjustment if they are not right on that bottom, on the bottom of each vertebrate. Okay, let me see. You might need to switch to there. Turn on wireframe on shade, maybe. Right there. There you go. I think mine is good. Right. And I think I got that one. We don't need to go to that part. That part will be another. Okay, so that will be the neck part. So I got, let's see, I have joins, about 17 joins. So 17, press enter to finish, and I'm gonna template it again. I don't need to see it. 17 join. So now I'm gonna make all the join are smaller except for the base, so that I know where it start. That's all. So I'm gonna select, deselect that one. Hold on. Number 2 to 17. change the radius. How about 0.3? A little small, 0.35. Here we go. Okay. And now if you feel like it's not nice curve, you could just move one of them. So up. So let me switch to all again. Alt Shift X to get my marking menu and select all. Once again, just in case, these are turn everything on. So let's take a look at this one more time. If I hold Alt Shift X, I can switch to curve, turn on curve, deformer, mesh, polygon. I think I add too much stuff on it, and because mesh and polygon, I think I meant to be surface and polygon. If I'm right, let's try switch matches. Let's see. Oh, all matches, and this is only polygon. Got it. Here we go. I just forgot what I said, so I'm gonna choose select all. Here we go. So we're gonna select that. Turn on move to. I've just pressed W, and then press D key to change pivot point so that they nicely curve. I mean, you don't have to. It will work. I just be a little picky. Here we go. So now we're gonna parent all of these vertebrate into each joint so that we can see the effect right away. So let's switch the template layer into regular layers. Okay, I'm gonna bring the joint forward. X-ray joints under shading menu. X-ray joint shortcut is right here. Here we go, so that I can see. And now I'm gonna select each joint. You might want to use selection tool Q and parent that. Select the surface and shift select a joint and press P. Edit parent. Shortcut is P. Here we go. So keep going. One. There. Press P. Select. P. Select. Press P. P is parenting. Select the child first and shift select the parent. Child. Parent. Child. Parent. Child. Parent. Child. Parent. Now if it's hard to see, you just switch to oops, did I do it correct? Okay, switch to 4 so that you can see it. 1, shift, here we go, P, and last, not last yet, here we go, P, that one. You can also use a different view to select also, but perspective might be really confusing, so side view it seems the best. So last one, that one, P. Let me check this one. Okay, this one more. That one will be the last in here. P. Okay. So now I'm gonna template the match. Okay. So and that's what we want. Here we go. Okay. So and now we're gonna create spine, but I forgot we have not done the pivot yet, so let's do that. So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, we're gonna create a controller, so I'm gonna use a box first. Box will be the main body, and hey guys, hold on, let's use the circle first. I don't even like that circle. I'm gonna create a new circle quick. Double click on the create tool, circle, create. I'm gonna change the degree to linear because I don't need any detail. Here we go. Make it a little bigger, and I'm gonna rotate 90 degree on X direction, and we're gonna move it. So now we got to figure it out where the pivot point of our pivot should be, the hip movement basically. So I would move the pivot point probably right around here. Let me press 5. Here we go. I think that might be the key. Oh, I didn't really meant to place the clavicle spine, no, the vertebrae spine right there. So lucky I did that. So I'm gonna move that, snap to the spine, and if you might need to zoom in a little, because when you hold V key, see that V, I just hold V key, and it will try to snap all the vertices also. So that would be my pivot point. Okay, and actually I don't like the circle. Hold on, let me go to control vertex. Now I'm gonna masking my selection. I'm gonna choose select curve only, so that because of a joins priority over curve, so it will be hard for you to select it. So this will be my hip control. I'm gonna scale down a little bit, make it a little bigger. Maybe let me change a little things there. Change shift. How about that? Here we go. Okay. You don't have to do like mine, but anything is good. So I'm gonna freeze transformation, delete history, edit, delete by type, history, Alt Shift D shortcut. Here we go. And we're gonna name we need to give the name. So this will be SK, right? Our name SK. How about call hip control, CTL. Here we go. And the hip control though, we're gonna move it like this at that pivot point. So we want the join. Oops, I gotta switch. Control Alt Shift X. Here we go. I'm gonna select. Let's use selection tool. The hip joint will be a child of the hip control. Here we go. So that we can do this. Here we go. Okay. Now we gotta make these object follow that. So now this is what I can do. I could just parent this hip pivot shape, pivot mesh. Let me rename to mesh. Okay, to the hip control P. So now let's test. Here we go. So okay, and this will be pivot joint. We're gonna make it even bigger. Let's do 2. Here we go. So okay, all right. So now the pivot joint will control. Actually, we don't even need this pivot joint. We can have them. We can actually parent this guy. Let's do that. Let's parent the oh hey guys, forgot. Let's rename our join first. We can't leave it like that. So I'm gonna select all, and I'm gonna rename multiple. Here we go. I'm gonna leave the word JNT, and I'm gonna call SK because of name, and call a spine JNT. You can call vertebrate too. Vertebrate, sorry my pronunciation. Spine. I'm gonna use spine joints, it's easier. Here we go. 16. And but the first one though, I'm gonna add a little name. I'm gonna call spine base joint, so that I know that I'm not moving this part. It just make this follow something. Okay. So, and this is pivot, and we can actually connect that to the pivot. Okay. Connect it. P. There we go. And based on what I see, I think, let me change the pivot point of the pivot. Actually, pivot can be on top. I'm not going to do on top. I'm going to just be right around there. I'm going to move this a little bit up. Here we go. So, because I want that to rotate at that point like this. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I missed this part. That part need to be a shadow of this. Somehow I missed that. Somehow. Let's test. See if it can go with that. Yes, that's it. Okay. So save your file. Okay. File save as. This will be number 2 now. Okay. Number 2. There we go. Alright guys, I don't like this at all. It's really confusing because we don't know what they are. We should name them. Let me see, let me expand that. So let's name them right here. It's getting, oh, I have a Lombard. That's good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's good. It's Lombard. Let me add SK Lombard mesh or poly. How about poly? Poly. Here we go. Okay. Poly 1, 2, 3. Good. And what about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we can go all the way there. Here we go. And this one we're gonna call SK, and I think it's called, let me look, Thoracis. Oh, Thor. Sorry guys. Thoracis. Here we go. Thoracis mesh. Poly. Okay, here we go. We got that. And spine. And then the top part, let's do that right now. We already here. So this part, 1, selection 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is not lumbar, is SK underscore, it's called cervical, cervical poly. Here we go, cervical. Okay, so just name them a little proper. I think that's better. And what are these though? Okay, shoulder blade. We will name that later when we get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna collapse that. Okay, so right now, let's test again. Okay, now how we make them move though? We don't want to animate this moving like that. We just want that to be a subtle control, the secondary control. So we're gonna rotate only a rotation, no translate at all. So we're gonna lock and high. Okay, lock and high. So now we can't move. Now we need another controller. This will be a body control. You can call a pivot or center body control, stuff like that, we're going to use box. So I create a box, and I can move it up right away. Okay, and I want it to be right around that area, the pivot joint. Should be around that area. Oh, I apologize. Hold on. My microphone is off. Okay. So right here, I'm gonna try to snap to the center of the pivot joint. Okay. And I'm gonna scale it up. How about like this? Maybe. That's enough, I think. We want it to be a little bigger than. Let me edit it. Just edit component might be easier. Just like that. Oh. Hold on. Save. Oh, come on. Selection 2. Okay, scale. And move it down. There we go. And I think that's a little higher on the top. Let me grab it down. I want it to be right around, let's see. Oh, that's good. Right around hip, actually. It's not too high, just right there. And that can be a little bigger, longer. Here we go. This one can be smaller. Yeah. Not good. Okay. I don't think that's good location. Has to be lower because interfere with this. We want them to be able to both of them to be easy to select. So okay, that's on the side view. How about that? Here we go. It's kind of too big. Actually, I think this is too big. This guy. Let me grab that down. I don't want it to interfere. Here we go. Okay. All right. So now we want the pivot joint to follow this control. So we gotta delete history first. I don't have any history, but I need to phase transform, and then I'm gonna call SK body CTL. Here we go. So body control, and body control we are not going to do a scaling, so we can hide before we lock. We can lock and hide first, and then when we create globe node, oh well, hold on, leave it there for now, and we're gonna limit at the end. Okay, we're gonna limit it at the end. So right now it's like that. Here we go. So I'm gonna select the pivots joint, and shift select the body control. Make sure you phase your transformation of your body control first, and press P, parenting. Now the hip, right now when we move, let's go with it. That's what we want. So we're gonna select the hip control. The hip control will be a child of the body control, basically. Here we go. So now when we grab the body, everything go with it, and we gotta connect that. Okay, so now we have a secondary motion right there. Here we go. So and I use that pivot point right there. Here we go. Okay. All right, that's good. So let's save. Let's add these, put this inside our no, not inside a make it a child of the spine joint first, because we're gonna, so that we can see a really nice effect. So let's go in selection tool. Okay, so basically that one, this one will be a child of there. So here and up, make sure you select just only one, two, and that one. Press P here and there, P, here we go. Just choose the same level basically. There we go. And that one as the lumbar, the clavicle, so vertebrate. Okay, there. That one. Press P, and here we go. So that, press P, and that one, and that. Here we go. Press P. Oh, P. Yes. Hold on. I pressed wrong key. Here we go. Okay, good. So you might need to tumble your scene so that you see what you selected. And that one. Parent it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Parent it. And oh, here we go. I parent the wrong. That this guy need to belong to this joint. That what my mistake was. Parenting. Last one. Last pair. Here we go. So now let's grab the body, see if it follow. Ha. Clavicle. I'm gonna unparent. That shouldn't be. Okay. So this clavicle should be, we will parent something else. So right now when I move, look like this. Here we go. Now this part of the rib cage we are not parenting. We're gonna do skinning. So we do that later, okay? So right now we're gonna set up our spine rotation. So the movement of the spine. So save your file and you can template your mesh layer now so that you won't select it, be able to select. So go to a skeleton menu. If you don't have a skeleton menu, make sure you switch your menu module to rigging, skeleton, and IK handle, spine IK, open up option. Let me reset. So what we want is we want a full, we want 7 more points to work with, but it's better. And just close it. You're gonna select from the base right here. Click the base and click the end. Here we go. We look like this. So now under outliner you will see the new IK handle. And where's the curve? Where's my curve? That's strange. I don't see my curve. I think my curve is when inside body control. Let me look. Because I think I do auto parent. Hold on, let me check. Yes, that's right. Hold on, guys. Let's move this curve off. Here we go. Off. Everything cannot be a child of anything, that curve. So move that. Once again, guys, let me delete the IK one more time. You don't have to do it, okay? The proper way is this. I forgot. I do it too quick. On the spy IK, I like you to turn off auto parent curve. We can't parent the curve because it will create double transform later when we move them, because we're gonna add cluster to the curve, and then we're gonna control the cluster by joint. So in that case, we cannot do parenting on the curve. The curve has to be a floating somewhere. And if you remember, we did with the flexible camera, the curve basically just somewhere, and we organize it by putting in a group node and call do not touch group. Okay, number 4, auto parents off. Do it again. Start from there and end it there. Here we go. So now let me collapse this. So now you will see it's outside. We're gonna name it. So this one I'm gonna call SK Spy IK. SK Spy IK. I don't need the word handle, and I want you to copy that name and rename this, but add curve, IK curve, so that we know this curve is belong to the spy IK. Here we go. All right, so that will be floating. Okay, so right now I like you to select spy IK curve, and then under show menu, isolate selection, turn on view selected, so that is easy for us to see the CV and we can add a cluster. So turn on view selected, shortcut control 1. Here we go. And I'm gonna use side view. Oh, well, that's okay, it's already perspective. Right click, choose control vertex. Now you will see this. So at this point, this movement, we want it to be a little static on there. So a major movement right on the middle, and then layers and layers and layers. So I'm gonna grab 3 CV point from the bottom, and under deform menu, cluster, edit, reselect, right click and choose control vertex, grab only one on the center. I'm gonna press G. G is repeat the command, deformer command. So I got another cluster, select the curve again, and all 3 on the top, press G. Now we got that. So we gotta name this. So cluster 1, 2, 3, basically I'm gonna add SK Sply, because I copied that name already, SK Sply IK cluster. I'm gonna leave the word cluster too. In cluster 1, this one will be, let me copy that name quicker. Cluster number 2 and cluster number 3. Here we go. Okay. So, all right. So now basically we're gonna animate this. Let's take a look. So control 1 to bring it back. Now use your marking menu, mine is Alt Shift X, and I'm gonna choose only deformer. So let's test. If I grab that, rotate it, here we go. That's good. It should look like that. Here we go. Okay. And this, because it's 1, but we're gonna we will parent this to another joint that places right here. So the pivot point will be at that point, it will move. So this one will move. That's good. Here we go. Okay, so it's worked. Let's save just in case. All right, so now we're gonna add a forward joint forward kinematic join to control this. So go to side view again, and I'm gonna go to a skeleton, create join, open up option, just to check. Same thing again, scale component compensation has to be on, and orient join to the world, so that is matched with the spine joint. Here we go. So I'm gonna start it from here. Don't click on it, otherwise you're gonna add them. Don't click on the joint, basically on the existing, just something close. Here we go. And another one on the middle, I think. How about right there. 2. And I'm gonna do just only, well, just one more right there, and then in right there. Here we go. So it will be 3 joins that we will use basically. So now we're gonna have to name this. So select the my switch to all. Here we go. Select the join, shift expand. I forgot to put the correct name on the spine join, right? We should add hey guys, let's add prefix on there. No, never mind, just it's okay. So we're gonna just name this a little more proper then. So we're gonna call a TNT, this one SK, and we're gonna call if K spine GNT. That make more sense. Here we go. So we have 1 2 3. I think I don't like that. I'm gonna add 0 on it. Here we go. Okay. And this part is just a tip, so we're gonna just make the scale a little smaller so that we know that one, it doesn't really do anything. Okay, so now we're gonna parenting. So we're gonna use a Q selection. We're gonna parent the cluster. If it's hard to select, gotta use this. Unless you can do, but then because the cluster and joins are different object, I don't want to come back to switch this and that. So I'm gonna use outliner. Now the outliner, we're gonna parent that to the base, the first join. Here we go, the first join, and press P. Now Maya will say, hey, it need to preserve position, so we'll add a group node on it. That's good, we want that. So I'm gonna copy that name and then put GP, cluster 1 GP, and go ahead. Number 2, now number 2 will be a child of this guy. So here we go, and press P, and I'm gonna rename number 2 GP. There we go. Last one, the last one will be a child of this joint. Press P. Here we go. 3 GP. Okay. And we're gonna have to make this thing move with it. So now you can parent this join to a higher hierarchy than the base join there. So you can also parent it to here, but if you parent it to here, you might get confused because they are 2 branches on top of each other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just parent it to the body control. That's all I need. There we go. So when we grab body control and move it, should look like this. Here we go. So they all go with it, right? Because now if we rotate this, it's also bend it down. That's supposed to be, and we'll be able to control the deformer. So I'm gonna grab, oh, not control this, the joint, forward joint. Here we go. If I rotate it, spine arm bend it. Okay, so this part don't bend that much. Okay, so, and how about the second joint? That's right, that's what we want. Top one, oop, we don't animate this much at all, just a little bit crush. Here we go, just a little bit crush. Okay, so we almost done on the torso. So let's save that again one more time. Okay guys, I forgot to set up the body control, the upper body. We totally forgot. So we do that before we do skinning. So, and I'm gonna start it from a perspective, side view. Create another cube, move it up. So here we go. This will be a so we will have one control here, another control there, and the third one there. So that will be the big one. So I'll do the big one first, and I'm gonna just change the make the pivot point right there. So you might need to hide your mask for a moment so that you can hold V key to snap. There we go. And while we are on here, I'm gonna just go to control vertex. Now, okay, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna use my marking menu. So curve only. Here we go. And I'm gonna scale it. Okay. Move a little. The idea is has to be bigger than the body so that we can select it easier. So I'm gonna do like this and that. How about like that? Okay. Let's, oh, forgot to the side, so just scale that then. Wow. Right click and choose object mode, deselect, reselect. It's just because still keep thinking about a vertices that I selected. CV, not vertices. So here we go. I'm gonna make the bottom part a little bigger so that easier to select. Here we go. So let's reference. Is it easy to select? Not really. Let me move that higher then. How about that? Okay. Alright. Well, I can go a little further. Okay. So that will be upper torso. I'm gonna call a SK up torso. Oh, torso control. Here we go. Face transformation. Here we go. And then we're gonna animate only rotation on this. So we're gonna limit that later. So we'll create another box. This will be a mid ab or mid torsos. You can call anything you want. So once again, I'm gonna hide that temporarily and hide the layer and snap right there. Scale it a little bigger maybe. Here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna just use that for my, here we go. That's a little too close there. Leave the gap. Here we go. And right here though, I'm gonna just only It's about that pivot point basically. Okay, let's look at on the side view. It's just scale like that maybe. Oh, hey guys, be careful because there's a curve in the center of the spine too, so you might select that by accident like me. So, and I'm gonna duplicate this box and I'm gonna snap it to the base. Here we go, and add that. Nope. That one got to be up higher. Here we go. Might be better. Okay, something like that, I think. Let me make some adjustment on right there too, right here. I want that to be in like that. Here we go. Just play around a little bit. Okay, so time to this one has to change pivot point. Press D. Somehow, let me turn that off again. I like to be on that pivot point right there. What about this one? Good. How about that one? All right, so here we go. Okay, so now feeds transformation, modify visit, and because these are based on the world space, the join. Hold on, let me go back to select all. Joins are world space, so we can parent to. We can do connection editor. So now we can connect this. You can't parent directly from this join to there. I mean, you still can, but you're gonna break that connection though. So we don't want to do that. We're gonna use connection editor. So, and you go to window menu, general editor, and connection editor. Look like this. So we're gonna use this as a controller. So we load the box into the output, and we look for rotation, basically. Rotation. Now we're gonna link to all rotation. So I'm gonna just highlight top part there, and use selection to select this join. That one, forward key, load to the right, and you're gonna connect this to rotation also. So here we go, rotate to rotate. Same thing here, load to the left, find the rotation. Here we go. So when I select rotations, mean I want all of them. Select this, load it, and rotate. Here we go. Same thing as this one, load left, and the join will be on the right side. Rotate and rotate. Hey, load right. Okay, it doesn't load it at first. Here we go. So now let's test that. This one will go like this correctly, and when we rotate this, it will look like that. So now we need to do a little bit of re-hierarchy here. So I'm gonna expand that. Here we go. So I forgot, this is gonna call up torso, right? So this will call mid. Ooh, my cap was on. Mid. Here we go. And this one will be low, because the low part. Low. Here we go. So in order to make those box follow like this, the body, here we go. Okay, so mean these need to be a shell of that. Okay, so we could just parent that to here, or we could even parent it to there. So that's the hierarchy, right? Because this one are control that. They are separate hierarchy, so it means it can be a child of that one. You can make this box to be a child of the main control is perfectly fine too. It will work. So now let's do that. So select this, shift select the body control and press P. Parenting. So now let's test. When we grab that, it go with it. So now we have to do the same. So right here though, it's control that join. So these can be a child of this join or can be a child of the app control. So let's do the app control because it's easier. Parent it. Test. If I rotate the low part, the upper part, the middle has to follow. So same thing as this one, will need to be a child of the middle part. So now it will go with it. Here we go. Can you see? So we can do, how about bend up? This is up a little and this is down. They all go with it. And then you can zero them out. Here we go. And so save. So I need to re-enable mesh layer to be a regular layers. Now the most important on skinning is the surface must have a UV layout, because skinning technique is basically Maya using a grayscale map to control the weight of a component of the object. So now this is what we can do, because our mesh doesn't really been deformed yet. We're just parenting them. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna under show menu, gonna hide all, none, and then turn on only polygons. Here we go. Select all the polygon, and we can do quick. You're gonna have to switch the module to a modeling under UV editor. Okay, so you don't need this right now. This is what we get. So we're gonna do really quick, because we are not going to do texture paint, so it doesn't matter how good UV we need to lay them out. We just need some UV inside that square. So this is what we're gonna do. Under create menu, we're gonna use auto mapping and auto every single the surface that we select. And by default it's use 6 pieces. Everything else just leave as is and just click project and just wet and done. So now they are inside there. If you go to object mode, select one of them, see they are inside that square. So this is what we want. That's all we need. And I'm gonna close this down. So we're done. Okay, so I'm gonna delete history. So Alt Shift D to delete all, and this is only the one we want right now. So show all. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna skin this to the spine. All right, everybody, let's finish this. We're gonna skin it. So we're gonna have to make sure you make your layer as a regular layer so that you can select surface. And I forgot to, let's rename this. It's called SK sternum and poly. Here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna only skin on particular joints on that particular spine. So let's expand the look at on outliner, expand, shift click to expand all the body control. we want to look at on the spine joint, and I think we should skin it from this joint. There's a reason, because we don't want this part to affect deformation on that area at all, because we want to mimic that. That's kind of belong to this part, okay, to belong to this part of the upper rib cage. So from there on, I'm gonna use Control key with outliner to select all of this, and until spine number 6. Oh no, 16. So at the end, and so once again, make sure you select from here to there. Okay. If you remember when we did the let's switch the menu quick. Rigging, skin, bind skin. Let me reset it. When we skin the flexible tube for the camera of the Curiosity, we just select only on the root, and then we just let them skin it all of the joints, right? So in this case, we're gonna do a little bit different. We are not select on the root, we select only the joint we wanted, and we're gonna tell Maya skinning. So under bind to, you're gonna choose only selected joints, not the hierarchy. We want to control it, and do not allow multiple bind pose, and we leave max inference to 5 and 4, so they will take a little, create a little soft bending, and we're gonna click bind skin. Now we need to edit the skin, so we will not know yet until we started to deform it. So let's grab the controller and deform it. Actually, they're looking really good, except for that part. It's squished so hard, so we're gonna have to work on that part. Okay, so select the surface, and I'm gonna collapse this. So after you select the surface, make sure you bend it in order to see which part need to be fixed. So I think, hold on, bend this way is not going to work, because it's going to be hard to separate the painting. So we need to stretch it instead. Here we go, stretch it. And remember, the upper rib cage cannot bend so much. It actually cannot bend like this, cannot bend this much neither, because can you see when we rotate it a lot, it started to overlap. In real life, it cannot overlap. It's gonna crash and break your bone, your vertebrae, and it's also, this rib cage is kind of protecting our organ on the upper body, so it won't crash it. So I'm gonna stretch it up really high, okay, and we exaggerate it, then go to skin and paint skin weight. And one more thing I need to sorry, I can't think of the word, to mention, we can paint only one side. We don't have to paint all of the side, because we can mirror them. There's a skin function, mirror width. So, and in order to make the mirror work, you must have the UV layout, and we did. So right now, I'm gonna check which one. This one also has a lot of weight there. Okay, and so now you can right click. You might have to zoom in a little bit, because when we select this, it won't work well sometime. Can you see? You can use selection like that too. So I'm gonna go a little lower. I think that lower 8, let's do 7. 7's still holding on it, so holding on 7 and 8 between these. We need to see which one we wanted to follow. Basically I want that to follow this area, so this is what I'm gonna do. Let me go up. I think we should go to right here, that one. So that one's 10. Oh, sorry guys, no, it's not 10. Right here, I just try to look for the closest parallel to the surface right there. Okay, so that one I think I'm gonna add. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Add. And can you change the volumes to 0.2, so that just a little bit. And basically when you add, you just add the here we go, vertex. You need to rotate. You might need to change your brush size a little smaller. I'm gonna hold B key with B key with left mouse button, and you actually paint on the vertex. That's the skin weight. So I just try, what we're trying to do is we try to make it not doesn't look too much deformed. Less stretching, that's all. And once again, when you animate, you shouldn't animate. Oh, I think here we go. So I don't remember which side did I paint because we just need to paint only one side. I think that's it. Okay, and I'm gonna test again. Rotate this, crush it. Okay, that's getting better, right? A little better. If I do, it's gonna be act a little too much, but that's okay. This is good enough, because when you animate it for this rig, you shouldn't squish that hard neither, because that is not the way it's rotated. It's too exaggerated. So now I'm gonna bring this back to 0, and then you will need to select that root joint. Just select one root joint. Oh no, not root joint, the joint that we skin it, and then go to skin, go to bipose, and if it said go to bipose, so it means you're good to go. Okay, the reason that we have to go to bipose, because this is how Maya calculate the map based on the initial pose. So now I'm gonna select this and turn on this. I just want to show it to you. Turn on the paint skin weight. But then we go to skin, mirror skin weight, open up option. Now based on the workspace axis, can you see, it will be a Y and Z plane, right? Because it's from the positive to negative, and so you need to select Y and Z plane and positive to negative. Click apply, and that's it. So you see a little change in color. Now they are symmetrical now. So when we test, left and right should work exactly same. Here we go. If it crash, gonna crash the same way. So, and that's it. Okay, so now I think that's it for today.